Ooh, I got a stain on the pants. Pantaloons. This mic might be rubbing. Is it rubbing? What if I do this and I start getting animated? Can you hear it rub? Anyways, how'd that sound?
Pretty good.
Pretty good? Well, I kind of feel like I'm pitching it hard, which means that it could translate into us getting a lot more agents.
That's the point.
Right, but then all of a sudden, it's reducing, it's too much competition. Like maybe I shouldn't be letting people know about our little secret in a bottle. It's our genie in a bottle, I'm letting it out.
Okay, that's enough. Cut the feed. Cut the feed.
Hello everybody, my name is Josh Mills, and I have been a licensed realtor since 2004. So quite a while now. I have had a lot of experience kind of bouncing through investments and working independently over the years. My dad's actually a broker as well. I had some fun working with him and some learning a little bit, cutting my teeth in land development back in the day. So I've worked for some of the big box brokerages out there as well. Had a team out in Arlington for a little while, and eventually I got recruited by a company called Epic National. And I worked with Epic National for a few years, and that's where I was first introduced to Jason Couch and the genesis of ReloRadar. And today we're going to talk about a series of questions that you might be wanting to ask or scared to ask of why is it that you need this change, and why is it that you need to come over to ReloRadar like we did?
How did you initially feel about making the switch to ReloRadar?
Okay. My feelings were mixed, and just like any agent, any team lead, there's always anxiety when it comes to change. Nobody likes change because there's a whole bunch of moving parts. You get comfortable, even if you're comfortable in a situation that may not be the best scenario for you. You don't want to change because something in there is probably working, some things may not be, but again, it's a pain in the butt. So long story short, I wanted more. I realized after multiple conversations with the guys over at ReloRadar, it kind of helped me break down how much time that I was wasting in a month. And you start to kind of quantify what that time is worth. And you realize when you find out what that time is worth, you kind of realize how it translates into money being lost, money not being made. And it got to a point where not just for me, but for my team, I wanted something more. I wanted to grow.
In what ways has ReloRadar improved your business processes?
I think ReloRadar has improved our overall processes because it streamlined things. It's added elements like superior client management. It's added some fantastic benefits and features provided by the AI. And we all know AI is like word of the day, right? Artificial intelligence. Well, I can tell you this, the team at ReloRadar has done a great job jumping on that bandwagon and enhancing artificial intelligence or machine learning, bringing into some of the best minds in the industry. I mean, Wharton School of Business graduates, these guys have been in machine learning since the 90s, and they really were ahead of the game. So when my friend and mentor Jason Couch created ReloRadar, at least the analog version of it, I was right there with him, and I was able to take that analog version and incorporate it into my business, and man, we have enhanced our business 3, 4, 5-fold over the last 3 years. So I was very, very happy to be able to sit down with my team and bring them over to ReloRadar.
How has ReloRadar helped you build a team?
As far as building a team, you got to have something to build, right? You got to have something to offer. So it's not just about confidence. It's not just about how long you've been in the industry. You got to have something. And let's face it, there are a lot of real estate agents in Dallas-Fort Worth. You know that there's probably about 125,000 in the state of Texas alone. And that number has consistently gone up over the last 4 years. Now, we've had a pretty bumpy market over the last 6 months, so some of those people may have gone away. But when you have something like this, technology like ReloRadar, it puts you in a position to where you have an advantage over those other teams, over those other agents. So when you're running a team, you have to have the ability to offer something. And ReloRadar gives you that war chest to be able to dive into and really get your team excited because you can show them a path. You can show them a path where they can take advantage of all this cutting edge technology that gives them a leg up when it comes to their listings, when it comes to buyer's management, when it comes to time saving techniques and time saving features. The list goes on. It's absolutely incredible. So I think all of those have added to my ability to recruit more agents.
How has the technology improved your ability to retain great clients?
I thought I already did a pretty good job of retaining great clients, but if the technology is there, yes, it has put me in a position to, when clients are happier and they're more comfortable and there's less stress involved with the transaction, obviously the more fun they're gonna have, the more they're gonna rely on you, the more they're gonna refer you business. So I think at the end of the day, a lot of the technology involved with ReloRadar, it de-stresses the transaction. And that right there is a huge plus for me.
In what ways does ReloRadar help you stand out in a competitive real estate market?
When you sit down in a listing appointment and you want to be competitive, you're kind of up against it the minute you walk in there, because most probably that seller has already spoken to about 3 or 4 other agents. And then you're always wondering in your mind, was I the first agent in the door? What did they have to say? Do I want to be the last agent in so that I can ask them questions about what the other agents discussed? Am I dressed correctly? Am I driving a nice car? At the end of the day, what is it that gives you that competitive edge? Well, I can tell you one thing that has stood out for me, and that is the future home sellers. That's right, crystal ball, future home sellers. So this is something that was coined by the ReloRadar team, and the AI is able to kind of go in and identify up to a dozen future home sellers that I'm armed with before I even walk in that door. So I can sit down there and I can come from a big box brokerage and I can have fancy letters in black and white with kind of that luxury, this and that, and I can have a nice car, but at the end of the day, what nobody else is going to be able to offer when they walk in there is future home sellers. For me to be able to have a conversation with you, walk you through the process of selling your home, and then said, oh, by the way, Mr. Seller, I already have identified 6, 10, 12 buyers that want to buy your home. That's different. That's what they call a unique selling proposition, right? This USP. And I think that's what really sets me apart and has made a huge difference in my ability to sit down with potential sellers and get business.
What advice would you give other real estate agents considering ReloRadar?
If you're considering making a change, whether you're an individual agent or a team lead, I would highly consider taking a look and sitting down with us at ReloRadar, because as we know, the market is changing. The landscape is changing for realtors, and you need to take advantage of something that's going to give you a serious leg up in the industry, something that's going to help you build a career, something that's going to help you scale, because we all love referrals. Referrals are great, we want them, but you can't scale referrals. What you can do is you can use technology like ReloRadar to go from maybe handling 10 buyers to handling 75 or 175 buyers at once. You really need to consider ReloRadar, because the amount of time it's going to save you and the power of this artificial intelligence and the ability for the client management is unbelievable. It's like nothing I've ever seen. And half the time that you're stressed out about managing clients is, I use an old metaphor, it's called die on the vine. How many times do we have clients that die on the vine? You could have this great client looking at $500,000 homes and you're all over it and you're working hard, and then all of a sudden you get inundated by a couple of other problems that you have to handle, right? While you're putting out these fires over here, that $500,000 buyer is not going to sit around in a holding pattern waiting for you. And all of a sudden you come up from air and you're like, oh, I've got to see Mr. Seller over here, or we got to get him in a home. Oh, he just bought a home with this other agent. So that's death on the vine, right? That died on the vine. And it makes you feel terrible, because you just not only lost that business, but man, you worked hard. You put all those hours into cultivating that relationship. This is what ReloRadar can do for you. It can cultivate those relationships. It can nurture all those people. It can take care of all those buyers while you're focusing on the individuals that you need to focus on. You let the AI focus on those that need that extra attention. It's going to be a game changer. It's something that you're going to need for your war chest, especially with the landscape, because it's changing. It's changing quickly. I've got nothing but great things to say about this, man, so come on over.
What feature of ReloRadar do you use most frequently in your day-to-day work?
I think one of the features that I use frequently, and there's a lot of great ones. I mean, you've got everything from client management, which the system's phenomenal. You've got the future home sellers, which again is a game changer for my listing presentations. But one of the things I've noticed that I'm using a lot more than I anticipated is the route optimization. Like to be, because I handle a lot of buyers at once. And so sometimes when I'm sitting down with a buyer, to maximize my time, I want to make sure I'm showing them 3, 4, 7 homes at a time when we're going on a tour. And man, like driving around with MLS sheets and, we got a phone in my hand and I'm looking at Google Maps and I'm flipping through the MLS sheets trying to stay organized, all that's gone. I don't have to do any of that anymore. It saves us a ton of time because it does the work for you. It optimizes the route, it saves the time. We go in and we do these tours, and when the tours are done, I'm actually getting notification, and so is the client for that client feedback. And again, it bubble wraps all of this busy work that normally I would have to do and hands it to me on a silver platter when I get back to my office at the end of the day. All the feedback's ready to go. We've gone through all the homes that we need to see. If one of the homes happens to get canceled, it automatically finds a replacement that I can pitch and we can go see that house. It's definitely, from a productivity standpoint, man, it's really enhanced that.